Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how can you use Google's AI Studio completely free to build an app, and not only that but also share it with users so that you can get traffic and utilize it to do whatever you want. So let's get started. We're going to try to create a very simple study planner app just as an example. So I can show you again how easy it is to build something with Google AI Studio, and compared to every other tool out there like Lovable or Bold, which costs $25 to $30. So the first thing you want to do is just sign up at Google AI Studio. I will be keeping all the links below in the description so you can go ahead and check them out. Once you land up here, click on Wipe Code Gen Apps and you will land up here. Now again, I will explain you all the features, but let's get started with building a study planner which can record all the subjects and their notes and files, and also use AI features to answer my queries about my notes. I'm just going to give a very simple design aesthetic: green, minimalistic, and white colors. That's it. And I'm just going to press enter, right? And once that is done, it will automatically start thinking about the project, creating a whole plan on how they're going to create the app and do everything else. Now, this takes roughly around 60 seconds for the first app to load up, but everything else is just after this as same as Lovable or any other app. But the best part is that it costs you nothing to do this. You can create 100 apps and Google won't ask you for $1. That is the craziest part. So as you can see here, it started writing the code. We're going to click on preview. And once you click on preview, it simply becomes as same as any other app builder out there. You just tell what you want on the left hand side and it starts showing the changes on the right. Let's say you want to add developers sometimes in future, you can do that and also download the app as required, like all the code files and everything, which is super cool. So that means you're not logged in for using Google AI Studio. You can just use it as you want. So I'm going to click on preview again and just zoom in a bit so you guys can see this clearly and just fast forward this part. Perfect. So the app got loaded. It took another 10 seconds and very simply we have the study planner here and I can add a subject. So let's test this out. I created a subject English. I can also create another subject called maths. So you can see you can switch between them. Let's come to English and I'm just going to say I'm reading a novel and the novel name is Sapiens. And I'm just going to click on save note. Now you can see it's here. I can also delete this note if I want. I can also add files here as I wanted to. I'm just going to come on the AI assistant and I'm just going to move myself around so you guys can see this properly. Tell me more about my notes. And now it will technically use Gemini's API, right, and bring out this information. You are reading a novel titled Sapiens. It took my notes, summarized them, and brought me this. Now I can ask it more questions. Can you explain me Sapiens? So let's see what it comes out with, right, again. So it only knows what we are typing. Now let's say I want to add this more information. Allow the user to have a complete conversation about notes and other topics in the AI assistant, right? And here I'm going to ask it to do one thing. Use Gemini 2.5 Flash. So very simply, as soon as I tell it does, very simply it will now create a feature which can give me more information outside my notes also. It is right now only reading my notes and bringing that information, but I can ask it to change that also. But very simply, you have already built your first app and now we can actually share this with people. So let me add this feature, and once that is done, I will actually show you how you can share this with other users and also deploy this so that people can use this app from anywhere. I also am missing a home page, so I'm going to ask it to do that. So let's see. The best thing is it's writing all the code. You don't need to again close this automatically. But the best part is it uses the Gemini 2.5 Pro model, which is probably one of the best models right now available for programming, and also pretty cool that Google allows to use all of this for free. It will take roughly a minute to get this done, but let's wait till then. Okay, so it's updated and it's refreshed the app, and as you can see, everything else that I was talking about has gone away, and that is a small caveat here. I'll explain you in a second. So, reading novel, I am reading a novel named Sapiens, right? And I'm going to click on save note. And I want to change the colors, but it will take a second. And I can come here, tell me about notes, and give me details. right? Now it should technically be able to give me more information about Sapiens rather than just like, so very simply, you can see your current notes have one entry, reading a novel. You are reading a novel named Sapiens. Quick note about current reading. So I want to ask, what do you know about Sapiens? And we can keep going ahead and keep asking it to do this stuff. So you can see it figured it out. Sapiens is a popular novel, so it will have that information and it will give me information about this. And that's pretty cool. I added an AI chat feature in an app in a second, and it does not cost anything. And that's the coolest part here. Now I'm just going to simply ask it to create a beautiful landing page for users to see all the features. And once I do this, it will now start creating a landing page, and pretty much we are done, right? Because the point is, that's all I wanted in this particular app. The only caveat that I want to mention while this is happening is that it does not store the information. So this app is mostly like a small micro app, which technically, if I just even click on reload the app, it does not store anything because it's not connected to a database. Can you connect it? Yes. But the only thing is, you will have to connect that manually. That means, you'll have to connect it to Supabase. You can give it all the information here, but it's not as easy as Bolt or Lovable, where they automatically have a direct integration present there. I believe Google will bring that, but given that right now this is what this case is, you can do it yourself and just build micro apps that you want to. It built a beautiful landing page. We get started. You can see and add subjects. Now, to share this app, there are two options. Very simply, first you need to click on save. Okay. And as soon as you save this app becomes part of your AI app library. Once you save this app, now as soon as you save, you have two options. You click on sharing the app, which technically allows you to share this app with other people. But as you can see, this is like an AI studio link, right? Very simply, this means that they will be able to see all the code that is written, and also kind of this is for, let's say I want someone else, one of my friends, to build his own version of study planner. And I want him to work on this. Rather than him trying to recreate this, you can just copy this link, right? And I'm just going to open this link again. So if I open this account and bring you, very simply, you will be able to see the app in the same format that I can technically, as you can see, this app is from another developer. Now, this is a completely new version of that app. When I say a new version, like it's separate from the app that I have. So I can ask it to change the colors to red and light black, whatever, horrible color choices. I'm extremely bad at that. But very simply, now it can edit this app. I have like my own copy of this, so I can change the colors, I can do whatever I want. It's completely up to me. So in case you want to share the app with others, so they can remix on this or they can build on top of this, you can do that. You can just use the share button, and then they can share their own version and so on and so forth. But let's say you want this app to be usable by users rather than anything else, right? Very simply, for that, we are going to click on deploy app. That means technically we want to deploy this app to the web, so anyone, any user across the world can use this, and they don't want to see the code, they don't want to see this, they just want to use the study planner. Click on deploy app, and here you have to either select a project or create a new project. Now this project gets linked to your Google Cloud project, but you don't have to worry about that. You can just create a new project or just select an already existing one. I already have an existing project. I'm just going to select that. It will verify my project. It takes a second, and then as you can see, it has automatically deployed this app. I can click on this, and now as you can see, it opens up like this as a landing page, and very simply I can click on get started and see this app. Now this app technically is the same that we have created, and you can see the study planner. I can zoom in a bit so you guys can see this properly, add a subject and everything else. It still won't remember all the conversation and information, but you can still create some super cool apps using this. And if you really want to add a database, you can do that. We come here, and then very simply, you can also open this app in Google Cloud to see details, but we don't want to do that. We're just going to close this. And I'm going to show you how can you monitor the usage of the app. So we're going to click on back to start and come back here and click on home. Once you come to home, you will see this monitor usage and more. And here you can monitor based on the project basis. So I have a project in Hetzner, which has this particular app. So once people start using this, I'll start seeing options here. Again, that's pretty simple. You can also update billing from here in case you want to add that. In case you want to set a limit, in like, for example, like, maybe people should not use it for more than 100 times or 100 API requests or something, you can do that. But the best part is everything is available here, and it does not cost you a single dollar. Everything is available here, and you don't need to worry about any of this. Now, before we conclude this video, just let me show you one thing. As you can see on Showcase, there are a ton of other apps available here. These are apps created by people, created by Google themselves. So very simply, let's say I'm going to click on a game. This is someone who has created a game and just published this. So I'm just going to select here, and you can see it's left and right arrow for straight and right side. It's pretty simple, and then I can just play this game. Let's hit. So I wasn't able to swing at all. Again, I don't think. Yeah, okay. You press the space bar to swing and you just change the direction. Okay, so you can create games like this. The best thing that you can do is you can also remix this app. As you can see, I can make my own changes, add my own features in the same way that we did for Study Planner. So the best way to get started is you can also look at other people who have created and utilize their apps if you want to. The best part is all of this is available by just signing up on Google AI Studio. I'll drop the link. You guys can go ahead and check it out. And you can also explore some super cool things available here. Again, I would not suggest you to go ahead and play around with it right now. Just build a couple of apps, have fun, and then come back to this. I will have the link for signing up for the AI Studio below. If you want to watch more content like this, where you learn how to use AI practically and implement it in your life, just hit that subscribe button. Costs you nothing, exactly like AI Studio, and helps you out a lot. Till then, I'll see you in the next one.